Before I begin, I want to take a moment to remember the lives lost during Cyclone Ditwa. Communities across the country are still searching for those missing beneath landslides and flood-affected areas. The damages to homes, workplaces, roads, and essential infrastructure have been extensive, leaving many families facing deep emotional and economic hardship. We stand with all those who are grieving, displaced, and working to rebuild their lives during this difficult moment. I also want to thank everyone who have been part of the rescue efforts, the relief efforts, massive numbers of people who have volunteered their time, who have come forward to help each other during this time. And I know there are many of you sitting here today who also have been part of this effort, and I thank each and every one of you for coming forward to helping our fellow citizens at this time. It is a privilege to address you at the 27th Presidential Export Awards ceremony, an important event recognizing the achievements of Sri Lankan exporters. This gathering of more than 1,500 representatives from government institutions, the diplomatic community, international agencies, and the private sector reflects the significance of the export sector in our national economy. Organized annually by the Sri Lanka Export Development Board, this ceremony represents the highest national recognition presented by the President to Sri Lankan exporters. Since 1981, these awards have acknowledged the businesses and individuals who have taken Sri Lankan products and services to global markets. This event reminds us that national progress depends not only on governance and policy, but also on productivity, value creation, and competitiveness. It recognizes the resilience and commitment of our exporters who continue to explore new markets and strengthen the economy. The past year presented many challenges: global market fluctuations, supply chain disruptions, economic uncertainties, and climate-related pressures required many of you to adapt quickly and revise operations to remain competitive. Cyclone Ditwa imposed additional difficulties for several export industries. Damage to production sites, storage facilities, and transport routes disrupted manufacturing cycles and delivery timelines. Some exporters face setbacks in meeting international obligations. The government is working with affected enterprises to assess losses, restore operations, and support recovery in a way that strengthens long-term resilience. And I'm happy to announce what was announced earlier today, that the government has introduced 2 loan schemes for micro, small, and medium-level enterprises, offering 3% relief interest loan of 3%. Despite these pressures, you continued your work. You maintained production, upheld standards, and ensured that Sri Lankan exports remained credible and competitive. Your contribution has supported the economy, protected employment, and sustained foreign exchange earnings during an extremely difficult time. On behalf of the government and the people of Sri Lanka, I express my deep appreciation for your efforts and commitment. Sri Lanka's economy is at a turning point. For many years, instability, inconsistent policy, and administrative inefficiencies hindered growth and weakened investor confidence. Our government is committed to a different approach, one based on stability, transparency, and responsible governance. This long-term framework is aimed at preventing a return to cycles of uncertainty and instability. Key priorities focus on strengthening fiscal management, ensuring predictable policies, and establishing simpler and clearer regulations. In addition, implementing robust anti-corruption measures and pursuing comprehensive institutional reforms are central to creating a more transparent, efficient, and stable environment for growth and development. These measures are intended to create an environment in which businesses can plan effectively, investors have confidence, and unnecessary barriers are reduced. Export development remains a national priority. Sri Lanka can no longer depend heavily on borrowing to sustain expenditure. Growth must come from trade, innovation, and competitive engagement with global markets. Your ability to take Sri Lankan products and expertise abroad strengthens the entire economy, and the government will work with you to support this effort. We also recognize the challenges you continue to face, including policy inconsistencies, operational delays, and limited access to competitive financing. Additional hurdles include gaps in infrastructure and technology, shortcomings in trade facilitation, and the slow progress in expanding market access, all of which require focused attention to support sustainable growth and competitiveness. These issues are real, and the government is addressing them. Our focus is on building efficient, transparent, and predictable systems, improving trade logistics, custom processes, investment approvals, and export facilitation, and we are working on all of these. The objective is clear: to reduce barriers between Sri Lankan products and global markets. The role of the Export Development Board remains essential. Its work in market promotion, product diversification, SME support, and digital export strategies will receive continued attention and support. Collaboration with industry, academia, and international partners will be key to uncovering new opportunities. Looking ahead, Sri Lanka must move beyond traditional export structures and engage with emerging global trends. The world is shifting towards high-value, knowledge-based, ethical, and sustainable products. Sri Lanka, we believe, has the capacity to participate meaningfully in these areas. This has to be the difference we make, that we are not just producing and exporting any old thing, but that we are special and that our products are unique. And as the world moves towards a more ethical consumption pattern, we need to make sure that we are aligned with those changing consumption patterns as well. The future export potential of Sri Lanka spans several key sectors. These include sustainable and ethical manufacturing, as well as digital services, IT, BPO, and other technology-based solutions. Agriculture and natural wellness products also present significant opportunities, alongside high-end apparel, textiles, and design innovation. Additionally, maritime, logistics, and aviation services are emerging as important contributors, while tourism-linked exports offer further growth potential. The creative industries, encompassing design, digital media, animation, and gaming, are also poised to play a crucial role in expanding the country's export landscape. In these sectors, competitiveness will depend on quality, reliability, and innovation rather than cost alone. As we recognize towards award recipients, I encourage every exporter to continue strengthening those capacities through research, design, sustainable practices, digital tools, skills development, and branding. These investments will define Sri Lanka's position in the global market. Economic progress requires partnership. The government will provide stability, clear policy direction, and a supportive environment. Your role as exporters and industry leaders is equally important. These are challenging times, but I'm confident that all of you present here today are here because you're not unfamiliar with meeting challenges and facing challenges without weakness, and that you are able to lift your game up to meet any challenges that are placed before you. To the diplomatic community and international organizations, thank you for your continued engagement and support, particularly in building partnerships, expanding market access, and strengthening technical capacity. To our exporters, your commitment and resilience continue to reinforce confidence in Sri Lanka's economic future. I also want to call upon you at this time to support each other and consider this as a collective effort, as a moment where we need to not just think about our success and our competitiveness, but a moment when we need to think of the country collectively and how we can together meet these challenges and meet our growth targets. This also includes taking care of our employees, looking at the impact of disasters, disaster mitigation, and making sure that our brands remain sustainable and ethical. This is the only way in which we can move ahead, and this is the only way in which we can meet the challenges that Ditwa has forced us to contend with. Every award recipient honored tonight represents years of hard work and dedication. Your leadership in value addition, sustainability, technology adoption, and market expansion reflects the strength of Sri Lankan enterprises. On behalf of the government, I congratulate all the winners and thank you for your continued contribution. As we look ahead, let us do so with confidence. Sri Lanka is entering a phase shaped by stability and global engagement. The Presidential Export Awards remind us that our success will be determined not by the challenges we face, but by our collective commitment to progress. Together, government, private sector, international partners, and the people of Sri Lanka, we can build an economy that is strong, competitive, sustainable, ethical, and inclusive. Congratulations once again to all the award winners. Thank you, and I wish you all continued success. Thank you very much.